Since I'm the new guy as president, not as a member, I thought I would start by introducing myself. I became a member 31 years ago when my wife Pam and I got married. Following, our wonderful children had their baby namings, went to religious school, were b'nai mitzvahed and confirmed all at Temple Emanu-El. My daughter got married here, and we hope to have many more wonderful memories at Temple. With all that the Temple provided for my family simchas, I never bothered to get involved. I finally changed that perspective and joined the Board of Trustees 3 years ago, and just recently became president. I found out that the more time you spend at Temple Emanu-El, the more you appreciate it, and strangely enough, the more it appreciates you. I figured out that you don't have to have a traditional Jewish upbringing, and you aren't disqualified for not having a strong enough sense of faith, or even for doubting God entirely. You merely have to want to be here and choose to participate. After that, the connections just flow naturally from the commitment you make. As you know, at times in our congregation and in many other congregations, the president makes an appeal for financial support to the assembled members and friends during the High Holy Days. Anyone who wonders about the timing of this speech may not realize that you are a captive audience. What better time? First and foremost, we all need to take this plea very seriously. The constant financial refrain will not cease merely by ignoring it. Rather, the temple will cease if our membership continues to look to the left and to the right and assume someone else has the means to solve our financial problems. We need each one of you to step up and take responsibility for your commitment to our wonderful temple. What is my vision for Temple Emanu-El? It's a temple that is inviting to everyone, one that helps many in need in addition to providing services that cannot be found elsewhere. It's a temple where it does not need to use reserve funds to cover income shortfalls to allow us to complete a fiscal year just barely in the black, or as of recent, in the red. It's a temple that can afford to give its wonderful staff raises and that can afford to hire staff for programming purposes. It's a temple where we no longer need to be stuck in the 20th century and instead have facilities that are modern and inviting to our present and future congregants. It's a temple that has an endowment that ensures our stability into the next century. I dream of our temple being financially secure for us and future families. I can go on, but I'm hoping that my passion and vision is shared by many of you. Allow me to present you with some basic figures. The sustainable level is $2,300 per family per year. What sustaining means is if each family was to pay $2,300, then the temple would break even. For those that pay less than $2,300 and cannot afford to pay more, we understand. You should know that you are welcome, and we very much want you to enjoy your membership to the fullest. We appreciate your support. For those that pay more than the sustaining $2,300, thank you for your support and making it possible for those that are less fortunate to enjoy Temple Emanu-El. Your generosity is not something that we take for granted. For those that pay less than the sustaining level, but can afford to pay more, I request you to reconsider the amount of your annual tax-deductible pledge. The bottom line is we need your help, not only this year, but every year. We invite one and all of you to review our budget. Believe me, we are not throwing gold from the coach. Our expenses are as tight as they've ever been. The most prudent of political conservatives would be downright impressed with what they would see. It's not the expense side that we're worried about. The problem we run into is from the income side of the ledger. Before continuing on about the temple's income, I would like to express gratitude for those that fall on the other side of the ledger. Next time you see the rabbi, the cantor, the office staff, the religious school staff, or preschool staff, give them a hug and say thank you. With our tight budget, they don't get paid top salary for the wonderful job they do. We are very lucky to have them. Many other private institutions, such as schools, churches, and temples, have high annual memberships or tuitions and still expect their members to contribute towards six-figure annual fundraising campaigns. We here at Temple Emanu-El have always felt shy about asking for funds, but perhaps that culture now needs to change. We continue to rely on a handful of very generous members who continue to donate. We love them for that and for so many other things they do for the temple. Balancing our budget really means paying the bills, opening the synagogue doors, keeping the lights on, paying our staff, educating our children, providing programs for adults and children, celebrating simchas, burying our loved ones, and serving the needs of you, our congregants, in these and so many other important ways. These are not extravagant needs. These are things that are truly essential to the mission of the temple and for sustaining this wonderful congregation. For those of you who have purchased tickets and are not members of Temple Emanu-El, welcome. We're very glad you are here. However, I must ask you some very important questions. Have you given serious consideration about joining our temple? Are you here tonight because you enjoy the warmth of our congregation? Are you here because you enjoy the rabbi's sermon or the cantor's beautiful voice? Are you here because you have close friends or family that are members? Are you here because you want to be connected with Judaism? If you answered any of these questions with an affirmative, why not join? We need you, and it sounds like you may need us. Please give it some serious consideration. And as president, I can make you a great offer. After you join Temple Emanu-El, next year High Holy Day tickets will be free. Such a deal. Tonight we celebrate the completion of Temple Emanu-El's 150th anniversary by the unveiling of our new Torah. There are few institutions, organizations, or memorials that have been around as long as us. Let me tell you some that have not been around as long as Temple Emanu-El. The Statue of Liberty, the Washington, Jefferson, and Lincoln Memorials, the U.S. Capitol Building, the Empire State Building, the Golden Gate Bridge, Major League Baseball, even the Dodgers, and 16 states within the Union of the United States. Temple Emanu-El has been here serving the Jewish community for 150 years, and with your help, we will be here for another 150 years. However, similar to your tax dollars going to maintain most of the items just mentioned, our temple is no different. We too need your funds to help sustain us. One day, as Hani, the circle drawer, was walking along the road, he saw a man planting a carob tree. Hani asked, "How long will it take of this tree to bear fruit?" The man replied, 70 years. Hani asked, "Do you expect to live another 70 years to eat its fruit?" The man replied, "I did not find the world without carob trees when I entered it. As my forebears planted for me, so I am planting for those who come after me." We at Temple Emanu-El have our own Hani the Circle Drawer stories. However, one comes to mind, and is about our longtime members, Eleanor and Richard Rusnak. They're not here this evening, so it gives me the perfect opportunity to talk about them. As the saying goes, be here or be talked about. When Eleanor and Richard first became members, they could not afford the membership dues. They were newlyweds and trying to make ends meet. They were able to become members with a financial help from another temple member. Today, the Rusnacks help others to become members and continue the Temple Emanu-El legacy. Someone was there for them to plant that carob tree. Now they do so for others. That's a perfect circle of giving, l'ador v'ador, from generation to generation. The next time the financial issues of synagogue membership seems overwhelming and costs of belonging seem high, consider for a moment the costs of not belonging, of not affiliating and becoming a temple member, of not creating Jewish memories, of not planting those seeds for those who follow, are even higher. Most everyone this evening has their own reason as to why they are proud to be a Jew, why they affiliate, or why they are a member of Temple Emanu-El. Let me share my reason with you. Approximately 70 to 75 years ago, there were 4 Jewish brothers who were told by their parents that they must leave Germany, and their parents would follow. All 4 boys scattered throughout the world, one in South Africa, one in Israel, one in San Francisco, and the youngest at the age of 15 years old in England. The parents never made that trip. They were captured by the Nazis, brought to a concentration camp in Riga, Latvia, and perished. At a similar time, a 15-year-old Dutch girl, her older sister and parents were captured by the Nazis in Amsterdam and brought to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. During that family's 18 months of hell, only the youngest child barely survived and eventually made her way alone to San Francisco. Those German and Dutch parents were my grandparents that I never met. That 15-year-old German boy and that 15-year-old Dutch girl are my parents, the parents who are here with me tonight. Let me tell you, I'm damn proud of them. It is for my parents, my aunt, my grandparents, and the 6 million Jews that died that I stand before you tonight as your president and as a member of Temple Emanu-El. Without a temple, I ask you, what do we really have to honor the past with? Whether you're a current member, a non-member who has purchased your tickets, I'm asking you to generously contribute to the High Holy Day Appeal this year so we can continue to provide a welcoming and supportive community to all current and potential members seeking Jewish communal identity. We rely on each other to share our strengths with those that are struggling. Members here at Temple Emanu-El believe in helping each other and their community. Your Board of Trustees has 100% participation in contributing toward our goal of raising $50,000 in this High Holy Day Appeal. We are asking you to not only help us achieve or exceed the $50,000 goal, but to also help us have 100% congregant participation. Please take a moment to fill out the donation cards you've been given in your program. We've made it so easy for you. You can write a check. We made it so easy for you. You can check a box on the card. You can fill in an amount that works for you. You can write a check. All of this is made possible with the attached complimentary Temple Emanu-El pen. No postage is necessary. You can drop your donation cards into the boxes provided for you when you exit. For you techies, you can scan the code on the card with your smartphone, enter the amount you want to donate, and you'll be billed accordingly. Become a member. Become a supportive member. Be a mensch. On behalf of my wife, Pam, my children, Janelle, Taryn, David, and Marcus, and your entire Board of Trustees. L'Shana Tovah.